From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Toby O'Brien, Johnny. Heard you had a run-in with Sheriff Doherty. They say you gave him till sundown to resign his office.
Yeah, I don't think he will, though.
He'll have to do something close to it. I got some information on Richard Hobb, the building inspector who was murdered.
Yeah?
Hobb deposited $20,000 in the bank last year.
What's that?
Now, wait. Hobb's salary as city building inspector was $7,500 per annum. The $20,000 went in 4 $5,000 deposits.
Holy.
And now, wait. There's more. Those deposit dates coincide with OKs Hobb made on the school building. He was paid off after each inspection. Johnny, we got it on paper.
We got some other things on paper, too, Toby. Hold on. Keep digging.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, Clinton, Colorado. To United Adjustment Bureau, 418 West 61st Street, New York City. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Clinton matter. Expense account item 15, $45 for photostatic copies of deposit slips in the account of Richard Hobb, building inspector, lately murdered. Furnished by one of my operatives, Toby O'Brien.
Here you are.
Okay.
I got a feeling this whole town's coming apart at the seams, Johnny. The sheriff threatened you openly. Everybody who's anybody around here is trying to cover up the school burning down and the way it was built.
I think I can hurry up the process.
You be careful. These people seem to play for keeps.
They've got to realize we do, too. These photostats are the first real bit of presentable evidence that the building was constructed under fraudulent circumstances.
Hey, take it easy.
Now, you keep the originals. Mail them out to the office. The post office is still pretty honest.
Yeah.
Also, let it out that we have the information wherever you go. I want them to get worried and steamed up and start acting dumber than they already have been.
Okay. Might scare Doherty and Hanley a little bit. That Vickery seems like a different proposition. I don't think he scares.
I drove my rented car over to the home of his grieving widow. She answered the door with tears in both eyes and bourbon over the rocks in one hand. She wore a black dress, black and satin and tight, low cut. Not exactly Emily Post for mourning. But as I say, it was black. A black lace handkerchief waved in the air.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, I'm glad you came by. I'm so unhappy and lost.
Yeah, I can see that. May I come in?
Why not? The sheriff hasn't done anything about Richard's murder.
I wouldn't rely too heavily on Sheriff Doherty, Mrs. Hobb. I don't think he will do anything.
No?
Well, don't look so surprised in your hour of bereavement, Mrs. Hobb. You know he won't do anything.
I don't know anything of the kind.
Why don't you sit down and let's talk? I want you to help me.
Well, I'm not sure I can help you. I'm so broken up.
Oh, now, if you're not careful, you might drown in those tears.
What are you trying
Relax, Mrs. Hobb.
All right. So I can't really cry about Richard. I never have. But I thought it was expected of me.
Some people might expect it. I don't. Now, look. This setup creaks from top to bottom. Your late husband made $7,500 a year and deposited $20,000 in 6 months. Here. Figure?
I don't know anything about his money. All I know is the bank told me he had only $300 left.
What did he do with it?
What do you think? He spent it on other women.
Then why the tragic act?
I'm not very good at it, am I?
Not the best.
And it's funny, Johnny, because I really mean it. Oh, I know how foolish I look in these clothes. I wanted to cry because, well, I really loved him once and he loved me, but we kicked it away because we both wanted more excitement than this town or his salary could give us. He was always out spending his money on other women, being a big shot.
What about the money? He got it for falsifying the inspection papers, didn't he?
Yes.
Who gave it to him, Mrs. Hobb?
I don't know. Probably Roy Vickery.
Who do you think killed him?
I don't know that either.
What do you know?
Johnny, he didn't believe insurance. And I have to live the best way I can. If I stay in this town, I have to keep friends. If I don't want to keep them, I have no choice but to move. And that takes money.
I wonder what could possibly be going on in your mind.
Your company handles insurance, doesn't it?
263 different kinds.
Are you particular what kind of premiums you collect?
Well, we pay off on a lot of things. Just what kind of insurance were you thinking about?
$2,000 endowment. Got your pen?
No, but my word's good at the cashier's cage. What do you got?
And I'm trusting you. Richard got that $20,000 from the Clinton Gravel Company for services rendered. Know who owns the Clinton Gravel Company?
Roy Vickery?
That's close enough. Last night after you were here, Richard came back. I told him what you'd said to me. He said Vickery and the others were going to make a patsy out of him. So he left to see you.
And got shot up. Hey, wait a minute. Vickery was outside your house when I left. He might have done it himself.
That's all I can tell you. Now, do I get my insurance?
If what you say is true, Mrs. Hobb, I'll have to check first.
Well, you'll find out. Say, where do you come from, anyhow?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Say, I got an idea. What's the housing situation in Hartford?
Rough. For you, Mrs. Hobb. Very rough. I finally tore myself away from the grieving widow and headed back for the hotel. On my way down the main street of Clinton, someone with a wrinkled coat and bourbon on his breath stepped out and stopped me. David Baines, the architect.
Dollar.
Well, hi.
Yeah, I told you I was going to stick around and do something brave.
Oh?
I finally got up courage enough to do something decent. Decent for me, anyway. For anybody else, it'd be too low to talk about.
What was it?
Well, I'm not much of a lawyer, but they say there's a statute in the books that says a private citizen may commit a crime to prevent a greater crime from being committed and still go free. Is that right?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I committed a crime. 2 crimes. Dishonor to my noble character, disappointing the trust of a young woman. That was the first one. Then engineering a theft. I'm a Fagin. That's what I am. Under the guise of loving a young female secretary eternally, I have, well, here, the purchase orders from Roy Vickery's office. The actual purchase orders for the school.
What?
She stole them for me. For you. With my best regard.
I looked at them. They were as advertised. Purchase orders complete down to the last 10-penny nail. Expense account item 16, 48 cents, postage. Not being a technical expert, I sent them down to Denver for perusal by the original brokers. 14 hours later, the verdict came back in a long telegram. The materials used in the school construction were not passable. The insurance company would never honor the claim of the city of Clinton. This text I turned over to Frank Ibsen, publisher of the Clinton Times. He promised it would be in the late afternoon edition. There were other developments.
Toby O'Brien again.
Yeah, Toby.
We located 2 witnesses to the Hobb shooting. Vickery put Hobb out of the way himself.
Get their statements and get them on a train to Denver right away.
Right.
Then you better gather up the rest of the boys and come over here.
Right.
Expense account item 17, 10 cents, 1 newspaper. The afternoon edition of the Times, which carried a complete story of the insurance investigation up to date, naming Vickery as the perpetrator of the school fire and involving Sheriff Doherty and Chief Hanley. I phoned Frank Ibsen and explained his next edition could carry the story of Hobbs' murder by Vickery. Ibsen said he'd make up an extra for that. I'd no sooner hung up the phone than I had visitors.
Want to come with us, Dollar?
Not particularly. Who are you?
Deputy Egan. Sheriff Doherty wants to talk to you.
I've already said all I want to say to him. Get out.
Guys?
Oh, no.
Take him out of here.
There was strictly no contest. I walked out of the room with a deputy on each side of me and Egan behind me. We were in front of the hotel when I saw Toby O'Brien, Al Davis, and John Newton coming toward the entrance. I kicked out at the nearest man and yelled for help. A few of the local citizens joined in the fight, and Sheriff Doherty's 3 deputies got the worst of it. We took them all back up to my room.
Sit down.
All right, Egan.
You're going to be arrested for this, Dollar.
Where were you going to take me?
Where? Place on the edge of town. Clinton Gravel Works.
Why?
Doherty said to bring you back. He wanted to see you.
Who's there with him?
I don't know.
The Clinton Gravel Works was a large building and tall shaft set on the edge of a frozen lake. Parked near the entrance was a long black limousine, such as a well-to-do contractor might drive. A white supercharged sedan, such as a fancy Western sheriff might use, and a red sedan, unmistakably belonging to the fire chief. We covered all the exits, and Toby O'Brien and I went in the front way. We were halfway up the steps when things began to happen.
You all right?
Yeah, come on. Wow.
Hello, Dollar.
All right, lie still, Vickery.
I stayed still for you too long. I should have put you out of the way.
The same as you put Hob out of the way.
Better.
This one's gone. Who is he?
Fire Chief Hanley. Vickery, where's Doherty?
He's out shooting his gun some more, Dollar. I hope he gets you, too. I hope.
He's backstairs, Johnny.
Yeah.
Stay away from me, Dollar!
The place is surrounded. Throw down the gun and walk out with your hands behind your head.
Toby, I'll get down the front way. Get the guys to step around through the shaft.
Right. You coming out? Doherty, you coming out?
No!
Doherty.
You ought to go over a place good before you think you got a man trapped, Dollar.
You're trapped, Sheriff. The men are waiting
I'm
for
up
you.
here with you, and you're the one I want. I told you I'd kill you.
I've still got my gun in my hand.
Vickery had his gun, and so did Hanley. Look at them.
Yeah, you did pretty well. Made it look like they shot each other.
And now it's your turn, Dollar. No! Get back!
Okay, Johnny?
Yeah, just a nick. Hey, get a doctor, will you?
Yes, sure.
Well, Sheriff?
I guess I kind of forgot some.
Yeah, what's that?
The part about the falling out among thieves, Dollar.
That was Sheriff Doherty's last statement. He died on his way to the hospital. Roy Vickery recovered and was arraigned on charges of murder, conspiracy, 28 counts all told. Chief Hanley was dead. Expense account item 18, $62, board and room. Item 19, $58, miscellaneous. Item 20, $164, transportation back to Hartford. Total expense account, $2,385.03. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's exciting story.
Next week, the Jolly Roger fraud matter. And, that means piracy. Of a kind that would have made Captain Kidd look like a bungling amateur. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in this week's cast were Jeanette Nolan, Lucille Meredith, Carlton Young, Herb Ellis, Jack Petruzzi, Bob Bruce, Herb Butterfield, Paul Richards, Edgar Barrier, Russell Thorson, Jack Moyles, and Frank Gerstle. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us on Monday night, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Vincent Price. I'm calling from Hollywood.
Oh, sure. My name's Shirley Temple. Now, who is it and what? Really, Vincent Price?
Do I sound like Mickey Rooney?
Well, no. But now, tell me, Mr. Price.
Now, look, the name is Vincent.
Okay, Vincent. What can I do for you?
Johnny, I have a little problem in connection with one of my paintings insured for $100,000.
$100,000? You call that a little problem?
This painting has suddenly disappeared.
Oh, I see. What's the insurance company?
State Mutual.
Oh, well, they have a small branch office right there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know, but Bert Parker, the man who sold me the policy and should take care of this matter, well, every time I've called him, he's been out. And I learned just this morning that nobody knows where he is.
Okay, Vincent, I'll grab the first plane.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the State Mutual Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Price of Fame matter. Expense account item 1, $178.50, plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to Los Angeles. By the time the big silver Constellation made its landing at the International Airport, it finally dawned on me that I hadn't arranged with Vincent Price about where and how and what time I'd meet him. But as I picked up my luggage, I discovered a hungry-looking crowd of autograph hounds milling about the tall, gracious man I was looking at.
Oh, sure. I'm glad to. Look, but just one at a time, will you please? I can't very well. All right, there you are. Now I have to meet a friend.
Gee, just one more, please. Huh, Mr. Price?
All right, if you insist. Here. Best wishes from T. Willie Rocking Horse.
Huh?
How are you, Johnny?
Oh, great, but I didn't expect...
Johnny who?
You mean to say you folks don't recognize Johnny Dollar?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Attaboy, Johnny. Give 'em all. I'll wait for you in my car. It's right over here at the curb.
Yeah, but look, will you? Hey.
Right here, Mr. Price.
No, I'm nobody. Please. By the time I got away from that mob, I felt as though I'd been run through a ringer. But we finally took off in Vincent's car and drove to his beautiful home up in one of the canyons west of Beverly Hills. Nestled among the trees with spacious lawns and well-kept gardens, it's furnished in the most excellent taste. I'm no expert, but to say that I was impressed by the extraordinary works of art in that home would be the understatement of the week. Engravings, prints, fine sculptures, but most of all, paintings. And even to my unpracticed eye, all of them were, well, magnificent.
Here's a little thing I picked up in London, Johnny. It's called The Old Man in Red by Goya.
Wow. Yeah, I thought original oils by him were found only in the big museum.
Well, I've been pretty lucky in getting hold of some of these.
Yeah, you've known what you were doing, too.
You like this one? It's called Fright. It was painted by Kenneth McManus.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like all the rest of them.
Thanks. How about this one here at the end?
Night Wind by, I'm sorry, Vincent, I can't make out that name. You don't have this one lighted like the rest.
No, that's to maintain its somber mood, Johnny.
Oh.
And that's what made it possible for the substitution of this copy to go undetected.
That's a copy?
Yeah, and that's my problem. The $100,000 Night Wind by Jean-Baptiste has been stolen. This was left in its place.
Oh, I see.
It's not a bad copy, probably worth a couple of $100, but it's hardly a genuine Baptiste.
Well, when did you discover this substitution, Vincent?
When I returned from a lecture tour early last week.
Oh, that's right. You've been traveling all over the country lecturing on art,
Well,
haven't
let's
you?
call it talking about art, huh?
Tell me, have you notified the police about this?
I suppose I should have. Well, I felt that was Bert Parker's job.
And you haven't been able to reach him over at State Mutual?
As I told you on the phone, he hasn't been in his office for some time.
Vincent, have you any theories about who might have done this?
Yes, I'm afraid I have.
Why do you say it that way?
Very few people knew I'd gotten hold of this Baptiste, only some close friends and a couple of art experts.
So?
And the place was not broken into during the time I was away. Of that, I'm sure.
Well, go on.
The family and servants kept very close track of anyone who entered the house while I was gone.
You have a list?
Yes, I do have a list.
Here.
Good. Alfred R. Hawkinson.
That's an electrician who came to do some wiring. He wouldn't know a Rembrandt from a Mickey Mouse.
Ann M.
The
Schumann.
music teacher loves music, hates paintings.
What about delivery boys, people like that?
Oh, they never get beyond the back door. Go on, read on. That next one is Ben, the gardener. You can forget about him.
And Bert L. Huh?
Yeah, Bert Parker. He was here twice.
What for?
Well, ostensibly to check on some of the paintings he'd insured. The first time, on the 11th, Mrs. Price was with him while he poked around. On the 15th, she had to leave to keep an appointment. And just when he left the house, nobody seems to know.
Oh, brother. Are you thinking the same thing I am?
Now, look, Johnny, I haven't known Bert very long, and, well, he seemed like such a harmless little old fuddy-duddy. As for his knowledge of art...
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Well, he was perfectly satisfied to take my evaluation on the 2 or 3 things he'd insured. So, well, Johnny, I may be all wrong.
Vincent, a thing like this may only happen once in 1,000 years. In any event, the company will certainly make good your loss.
Well, with a work of art, it isn't really the money that counts. And, Johnny, listen. Look, I may have jumped to a completely unjustified conclusion about Bert Parker.
Oh, yeah? Sure. Well, let's go down to his office and see.
We'll return to Johnny Dollar and the Price of Fame matter. That's Vincent Price in just a moment. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Price of Fame matter.
A priceless original oil painting, stolen from the home of Vincent Price, famous radio and picture star. One of the few people who'd had the opportunity was the man who'd sold him the insurance on it, Bert Parker. Together, we went to Parker's office at 4 State Mutual in downtown Los Angeles.
It was on the 16th that Mr. Parker phoned in to say he wasn't feeling very good and wouldn't be in for a day or two.
Hey, it was on the 15th that he was at your house, Vincent.
Yes, that's over 2 weeks ago.
And you haven't heard from him since, Miss Pritt?
No, Mr. Dollar. We've tried calling his apartment, but since there hasn't been anything really pressing here at the office...
What's the address of his apartment, please?
Well, it's out in Westwood, 1308 Pandora Avenue.
Look, Vincent, I'm going out there. I'll call you if I find...
You're going to need transportation, aren't you, Johnny?
By the highest price chauffeur in the country? Sure, why not?
Oh, before you go, Mr. Price, I wonder if... if I could have your autograph.
Well, why didn't you get Johnny Dollars, Miss Pritt? He loves to give them.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. No, you don't, Vincent. Let's go. It took a little persuading, but the landlord at Bert's apartment finally let us into his 4-room suite. It was empty, except for a few old clothes, and it was obvious that he'd packed and left in a hurry. I rummaged around in the closets, tables, bureau, for a clue as to where he might have gone, and came up with nothing.
You give up, Johnny?
Yeah, Vincent, I'm afraid so.
I poked around that desk some more after you'd finished with it and found this wedged in behind a drawer.
Oh? Travel folder. Paris.
Yeah, it looks real fresh, too.
Minor Travel Agency, Beverly Hills.
Well, what do you think?
Pretty much of a long shot, Vincent.
But they do pay off sometimes, don't they?
Planned a trip for myself, yes, sir. First class all the way.
What was the departure date, Mr. Miner?
16th, first class, straight to Paris.
Oh, brother. Paris is a pretty big place.
Did you make any arrangements for him for after he got there?
Only for when he arrived. Reservation at the Louvois.
What?
The hotel, Louvois.
The Louvois, perhaps.
That's what I said. First class, too. Said he wanted something not too far from the Montmartre.
Montmartre, if you don't mind.
That's what I said, yes. Now, can I fix you gentlemen up with some plane reservations, too?
Well, suppose you give me the same flight he took, and I'll stop at the same hotel when I get there.
Hey, wait a minute, Johnny. You're not going to leave me out of this.
Well, look, I'm still playing a long shot, Vincent, a very long one.
What's the difference?
Also, I don't know if my expense account will get by the home office.
Expense account, forget it. I'm having a ball. Mr. Miner, start making those reservations.
Expense account item 2, $984 for the plane to Paris. Well, it turned out to be the most interesting flight I've ever made because of the company of Vincent Price. An amazing conversationalist. He could talk about anything, including art. And he has a tremendous sense of humor. So, as he put it, we had a ball from the time we took off in L.A. till the time we set down in Le Bourget. Item 3, 520 American, taxi into the Hotel Louvois, where the manager was, somewhat helpful.
Mais oui. The Monsieur Parker leave us but only 2 days ago, after some slight misunderstanding about l'addition, the deal.
Yeah, you mean he was running out of money?
Monsieur, I did not say that.
But that's what you meant, isn't it?
You know where he spent his time around here?
But of course, his business, he say, took him constantly to Montmartre.
Where in Montmartre?
Who is to know?
That's like saying somewhere in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Perhaps you know my cousin.
Johnny,
He was...
Johnny, I just got an idea.
Shoot.
Works of art, even very good ones, are sometimes sold in rather unorthodox ways. They go through some rather strange hands. They're not always sold over the counter, so to speak, by reputable dealers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how to contact the kind of people who might... You got any ideas?
Why don't you just go on up to our suite and sit tight for a while, I'll see what I can dig up.
You are keeping something from me, Vincent.
Mm-hmm. But, Johnny, there are some things even funk keeps from Wagnalls. I'll see you later.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Price of Fame Matter.
All of gay, romantic Paris just outside the door, and time on my hands. So what did I do? Took Vincent Price's advice, went back to my room at the Hotel Louvois, and waited. 2, 3, 4 hours. Finally, shortly after 8 p.m., Vincent came in bearing a couple of packages.
Sorry to have made you wait, Johnny, but I think I'm on the trail of something.
Looks to me like you've been on a shopping spree.
Props, Johnny, for you.
Have you found out where Bert Parker is?
No, but I think you will. Here, try this on.
Huh? What's this all about? A 10-gallon hat?
Yeah, I had to guess at your size.
Where in Paris did you find this?
Try it on.
Oh, what do you... Holy... What am I supposed to be, a refugee from Texas?
Exactly. You made it in oil wells. Your name is Matthew.
Huh?
You're over here to see the sights, all the wild nightlife you've heard about, the Folie Bergère, Rue Blondel, Place Pigalle. Here, try on this shirt.
Oh, brother. Look, I don't know what this is all about, but hadn't we better get something to eat?
Try it on.
If you don't take me to one of the world-famous restaurants in this town...
Maybe tomorrow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's good. That shirt's going to be all right.
What do you mean tomorrow?
Here, now, stick this genuine simulated imitation diamond-type stick pin in the front. Wait a minute, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, what the Sam...
There you are, and with this big hunk of glass on your finger. There, now, look at you.
Oh, you look. I'm hungry.
Well, maybe you'll even get food where you're going.
Now, where do you think I'm going in this rig?
To a little joint on the Rue Blondel called the Bal Macabre.
Now, what am I supposed to do there, if I go there?
Sit around. Look prosperous. And see what happens.
Oh, Vincent.
Remember, you made it in oil. Millions.
Yeah, but Vincent...
Also, you're interested in art, and your name is Matthew.
Look, will you...
On your way, Johnny. The taxi that's waiting for you out front knows exactly where to take you.
The Bal Macabre was really a joint. It was dirty, and the people packed like sardines in it were dirty, too. Characters who made a business of being characters. And everybody screamed at everybody else. Except, that is, for the wormy little man who sidled up to the postage stamp-sized table on which my glass and a bottle of wine were balanced.
Pardon. You are Mr. Matthews, are you not?
That's right.
From Texas? No?
Yes, sir, partner. The great and glorious state of Texas. Sit down and pour yourself a glass of this here red ale. Who are you?
They call me La Chagrin.
What's that mean?
Well, they're what you call the gray cat.
Hey, that's cuter than the name of my old friend Coyote Bill.
Well, do you enjoy the Paris nightlife?
You know something? I'm getting fed up with it. Yeah, I think I'll just buy me a couple of nice pictures and go on back home.
What kind of pictures, monsieur?
Well, good ones. Oil pictures. Like that Mona Lisa I've seen at the Louvre. You know, good ones, I mean.
Well, like a Jean-Baptiste, perhaps?
You mean you know where a man could get a hold of a genuine one of them?
Well, for a price, of course.
Well, listen, I got money and I'll spend it. Well, I offered them $500,000 for that Mona Lisa, but they turned me down. But if I could get a hold of a genuine Baptiste, well, partner, you just name the price.
Oh, well, I make no promises, mon ami. But I do have a friend. And for a slight consideration...
Name your price and take me to it.
I will be waiting for you at the corner with the taxi. That is what you call okay?
Okay.
I shall be waiting.
I'll be there, partner. You bet I will. And I'd certainly like to know how Vincent set this up. The taxi dropped us off at one of the most disreputable-looking apartments in the whole of Paris. My friend, who called himself the Gray Cat, looked carefully around before entering the front door. Then we climbed 4 flights of a dark, musty stairway.
No, remember, my friend, you are not to pay the price he asks at first. If you like, I will make the arrangements for you.
Now, that would be right friendly of you, partner. But how would you come out on this?
Well, all I ask, monsieur, is 10% of what you pay.
And maybe a little extra from him for bringing me up here?
Oh, monsieur.
Oh, now, don't give me that, partner. I've been around. I'm wise to how you fellas operate. But if I can get a hold of a real, genuine Baptiste...
You will see.
Yes? Who is it?
I have brought a friend, Monsieur Matthews from Texas.
Yes?
Yes, he would like to buy The Night Wind by Baptiste.
That is, if it's genuine.
Genuine? Of course it's genuine. There, on the table. Can't you see for yourself that it's the original? Oh, no.
Well, Bert Parker.
Johnny Dollar.
That's right. Insurance investigator.
Investigate you? Oh, I've just remembered somebody is waiting for me.
That's right, I am.
Mr. Price. Oh, no.
Well, pardon, Monsieur Price, but I must go.
Without your fee for taking care of Mr. Dollar?
Listen, both of you, please. I'll give you back the painting. I'll do anything you ask.
Oh, drop dead.
Oh, dear. Dear.
Well, Vincent, there it is. Yep. And it looks like the company has saved a cool $100,000.
I have a confession to make about that, Johnny.
Yeah, like how you happened to know the way to the painting through that squirmy little fellow who brought me here.
Oh, well, that's how I got hold of the Baptiste in the first place. It's a lovely thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
And, Johnny, it is worth $100,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the truth of the matter is I paid only $300 for it.
You paid? Oh, no.
It's a fact.
Well, you've got it back thanks to your own efforts.
Thanks to your being the front man. If I'd tried to get it back myself, these people would have run like scared rats.
Oh, sure. Just tell me one thing, will you? Why aren't you an insurance investigator?
Well, you know, it's every man to his own. Well, after all, why aren't you an actor?
Let's get out of here. Disposition of Bert Parker? Well, that's entirely up to the company. Vincent, now that he has the painting back, doesn't care one way or the other. However, from the company's standpoint, well, it's not the kind of black eye that's good for you. Expense account total, including incidentals and transportation back to the States, $2,341. Remarks? Well, to Vincent Price, my eternal thanks. Not only for the help on this case, but most of all because it's given me a chance to really know him. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment. Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, the heart of sunny southern Jersey, and a case that took a very sudden, very strange twist. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Junius Matthews, Tony Barrett, Horace Lewis, Howard McNear, and, of course, our special guest, Vincent Price. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Johnny Dollar.
Well, hiya, Johnny. Hiya, boy.
Well, I'm fine. Who's
Johnny,
this?
You been out here to sunny Southern California lately?
No, as a matter of fact,
Sure
I haven't.
You out here. How's about hopping on a plane?
Well, that depends. Who are you?
Huh? Oh, sorry, Johnny. This is Will Burnett.
Trinity Mutual Insurance.
Right. And the reason we need you is a couple of fish.
Couple of what?
2 mammals.
Look, Willie, I haven't the least idea what you're talking about. I'm beginning to wonder if you have.
Sure I have. Petey and Sue. Dolphins.
What happened? They are what? Dolphins?
That's right.
Now, don't tell me you've insured the lives of 2 dolphins.
An important client wants it. I think we ought to, but the whole fishy deal needs looking into.
You know what I think?
What, Johnny?
I think you're nuts. Dolphins. But as long as you're willing to pay the freight. Okay, I'll see you sometime tomorrow.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator,
yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Trinity Mutual Insurance Company, Los Angeles office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the vociferous Dolphin matter. Expense account item 1. At the crack of dawn the next morning, $224.43. That's for a wire to Willie Burnett, a taxi to Bradley Field, and a jet going west. Then at L.A. International, while I was picking up my luggage...
Yo, Johnny, right over here.
Oh, hi, Willie. Oh, pardon me, please. Excuse me, ma'am.
Glad to see
Hi,
you, boy.
Willie.
Glad you can make it so fast.
Oh?
Here, got a rental car all gassed up and ready for you. You can stuff that stuff in the bag.
All right, good enough. There we are.
Huh?
Well, now what?
I got a client waiting for me in the office, so I can't go along with you the way I planned.
Go along to where?
Shelter Point, just this side of San Diego.
Oh?
Now, here's a map all worked out for you. And see, right here is where Professor Dr. Euryantha Eurydice Estwell has her private oceanarium.
Professor who?
Estwell.
No, those first names again.
Couldn't say them again if I tried.
I'll bet not.
She's an eccentric, nonconformist. Call her an oddball if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But she once held down chairs of zoology and ichthyology at 2 important colleges. And like I said, she's an important client of ours.
Zoology?
Uh-huh.
And her own private oceanarium. You were serious about wanting to insure the lives of a couple of dolphins.
Well, why not? I mean, if they can do what she thinks they can.
Which is what?
Uncurl that lip, Johnny. This is based on scientific knowledge. But it's the wildest, the most... Well, get yourself on down there and see for yourself.
I think I'd better. I cut on over through Inglewood to Route 101, the freeway, and then about 40 miles later hit the Pacific Coast Highway at Capistrano Beach. There I plowed into a cold, wet fog. Real pea souper. By the time I passed through the usually colorful town of La Jolla, I began to wonder if I shouldn't stop somewhere and wait for it to clear. But it was still early afternoon. Traffic wasn't too bad, so I kept on. By the time I finally found the unpaved road that cut over to Shelter Point, I wished that I had stopped. But a sudden, very short-lived breeze gave me a quick look at my destination. Down near the edge of the Pacific was a home, and leading out over the ocean was a long, wide pier with lockers lining one side of it. On the other side of the pier, rising out of the sea, was a tremendous tank. Boy, I could use a seeing-eyed dog in this fog. Sunny Southern California. Somebody down there in the pier must have caught a glimpse of me. A very good glimpse of me. That last shot was too close for comfort. But the fog, now a solid wall again, was to my advantage. Moving without a sound, I felt my way onto the pier, and by pressing close to the lockers, I showed no silhouette. Finally, I saw the hazy outline of the marksman who was not looking my way. I waited. After what seemed like an hour of hardly daring to breathe, I jumped. All right, let me have it. Let me have that gun. Come on.
Well, who are you? What are you doing out here?
Wait a minute. You always shoot at people?
Now, I asked you a question, mister. Who are you and what are you doing out here?
Matter of fact, I had come here to see a Professor Estwell.
What about?
My name is Johnny Dollar.
What? Johnny Dollar?
That's right.
Oh, Johnny, I'm so glad to see you.
Well, cheers. Now, look.
I'm Penelope Wyman.
Penelope? Well, let's call you Penny, hmm?
Well, I like that better,
You mind telling me why you were pulling off those shots at me?
At you? Oh, but I wasn't. It must have been a ricochet.
Oh, sure.
Oh, really, Johnny? I was aiming at those sharks. You see them? Around the big tank where Aunt Uri keeps her 2 dolphins?
Oh, you were, hmm?
Honestly. Look, come on, Johnny. Let's go up to the house where it's warm and we can talk. Because, well, Johnny.
Yeah?
Why have you come here? Is it because you're worried about Aunt Uri, too?
Should I be?
Yes, Johnny. Yes.
This ever happened to you? You're driving down a long highway or working late, and then monotony makes you feel drowsy. Perk up with No-Dose. No-Dose keeps you alert with the same safe refresher found in coffee. Yet No-Dose is faster, handier, more reliable. Absolutely not habit-forming. The safe way to stay alert without harmful stimulants. No-Dose.
Here, Johnny, we can sit in here.
After you,
Thank you. Would you like a drink or something?
No, thanks. Now, Penny, tell me, does this worry about your aunt have something to do with your standing down there on the pier with a rifle?
Well, no, I told you I'd thought of going swimming.
In all this fog?
Well, sure, anytime. But when I saw all those sharks nosing around the dolphin tank, well, all right, no, Johnny. I did have the rifle there because of Aunt Uri.
Why?
Her experiments with the dolphins.
What kind of experiments?
Did you ever hear one of them?
Well, I've heard the funny little noises they give out. That's about all.
Well, most of the sound they make is too high in pitch for the human ear. But scientists believe they communicate the same as we do with a regular language.
It seems to me I read something about that recently.
Well, Aunt Uri, with all her money, hopes to prove it. Prove that the dolphins, she calls them her children, that Petey and Sue can actually talk, that their intelligence is almost as high as ours.
That's a possibility, I suppose. But is that all that worries you about her?
Well, no, Johnny, it's that... Well, I think that somebody's trying to stop her.
How?
Well, she's old, quite old, and... Well, there have been too many near accidents lately. Like the night one of the planks on the pier gave way. And just think if there'd been sharks around then. And she still insists on doing everything alone out here, in spite of the fact that she could afford all kinds of help. But she does it all alone, except for Carl and me.
Who's Carl?
Oh, Carl Petermill. He's a... Well, he was my fiancé. Johnny, are you going to stay long?
Well, I don't know. Tell me, what does Carl do for your aunt?
Oh, he handles the recording equipment for the funny sounds that Petey and Sue make when they talk to her, she calls it. I don't really know how it all works, Johnny, and I don't think she does either, but that's her big project.
Well, do you think she's getting anywhere with it?
Of course I am, young man. Carl, set those tape recordings over there in the corner.
Right, sure, Professor.
Who are you?
My name is Johnny Dollar.
Well, I don't care who you are. What business have you coming in here? Dollar? From the insurance company?
That's right.
Good. This is Carl Petermill, my assistant.
How are you, Carl?
Friend of yours, Penny?
Now, Carl.
Mr. Dollar, I want some insurance on my children, Petey and Sue.
The Dolphins, you mean?
I said my children. Haven't you showed him, Penelope? Haven't you let him hear them talk? Now, come along, all of you. But first, Penelope, go in and put on a decent dress.
Yes, Aunt Yuri.
Come along, Mr. Dollar.
Yes, ma'am. While Carl fooled around with a mess of complicated electronic equipment over at one side, we climbed onto a platform across the big tank, and the two dolphins came flipping up out of the water like a couple of playful puppy dogs demanding attention, splashing around, squeaking like mad, then leaping high into the air, clear over the platform and down into the water on the other side. The thing that really stopped me was when one of them, leaping out of the water onto the platform, just lay there for a moment until the professor gave it a few pats on the head like you would a playful dog. It was amazing, and a far more personal kind of play than I'd ever seen at Marineland or any other oceanarium where they train small whales and dolphins. They really seemed to understand her.
That's enough.
Then, at her command, they quit and stayed below, swimming around. Of course, coming up for a breath of air now and then and watching us all the time.
There you are. Do you see, Mr. Dollar? They are my children. Completely obedient. And they love me, too.
It's almost unbelievable, Professor.
Well, that alone is reason enough to insure their lives.
Well, now...
But there's a far more important reason, Mr. Dollar. One of tremendous scientific value to the whole world. At least it will be when I've given them more training to prove my point. I'm going to show you, demonstrate to you how they talk. Is the recording equipment ready, Carl?
All set up to go, Professor. You get one of them up to the surface, and I'll handle the mic from here.
Very well. Susie, come here. Come here, pet. Start the machine, Carl.
Okay, we're rolling, Professor.
All right, now, Susie. Talk to me. Talk to me, dear. Come on, Sue. That's right. Talk to me. That's a good girl. Do you love me? Do you love your mother? Say, mother. Mother. Mother, did you hear it, Mr. Dollar?
I heard it, but I'm afraid I don't exactly understand her.
Then we'll show you, won't we, Carl? Down you go, Susie. And thank you, dear.
These tape recorders, Professor. How come?
What's the matter with you, Mr. Dollar? Can't you see what we're doing?
I'm not quite sure.
It's obvious. We make a recording at ultra-high speed of sounds that are almost too high for the human ear to register properly.
Yes, that much.
Then Carl puts it on another of those machines like he's doing now and plays it back at a very slow speed.
I see.
That will make it not only audible, but understandable.
Understandable, hmm?
Well, of course, you'll see.
All ready, Professor.
Then go ahead, Carl. Go ahead. Now listen. Do you hear it now, Mr. Dollar? Now it's at a pitch that we can understand. You hear that? She said mother.
She did, huh?
Well, yes, of course she did. Because I taught her to. Well, didn't you hear it? She said mother. Well, didn't she?
Or was it something else, Professor Estwell?
What? Something else?
Yes. Like maybe murder.
taste kindly with Kent.
Treat your taste kindly with Kent.
Treat your taste kindly with Kent. Smoke Kent, the micronite filter cigarette.
Yes, people who want to get away from harsh, rough-tasting cigarettes know that the one to switch to is Kent. And there's a very good reason why. Kent, with the micronite filter, refines away harsh flavor, refines away rough taste for the mildest taste of all. Yes, that's your reward for smoking Kent, the cigarette that made the filter famous. So when you want to get away from harsh, rough-tasting cigarettes, remember, the finer the filter, the milder the taste. And you'll decide to treat your taste kindly with Kent.
Treat your taste kindly with Kent. Smoke Kent, the micronite filter cigarette.
I'm no salesman, I guess, because the minute I questioned the so-called words from her pet Dolphin, those that came out of the tape recorder, the professor politely but firmly ordered me to leave. Her timing was just exactly right, for as I drove on past the house...
Oh, Johnny! Johnny!
Hi, Penny.
Hi. Are you going back to L.A.?
Well, maybe into San Diego. You like a ride?
Oh, no, thanks, but, well, I'm driving in, too, for some shopping.
You know, I was thinking that I might hang my hat at the El Cortez tonight.
Oh? Well, that'll be, right close to where I'll be.
Well, if you're shopping late, Penny, you'll have to have dinner somewhere.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that, Johnny. It's a date.
Good, I'll be waiting. Just holler when you're ready. After phoning Willie Burnett and reporting no sale as yet, that's item 2, $1.45, I checked into the El Cortez, shaved, showered, dressed, then waited until Penny called. Then, a night on the town with that beautiful girl. Only once during dinner at Luback's did we make with any serious talk.
Wonderful, Johnny.
Oh, good.
But I shouldn't leave her alone even for a few hours this way.
Even with Carl out there with her? Your engagement to him is really off, hmm?
Yes. And I guess he hates me now because of the reason for it. Oh, I knew he hadn't had much formal education, but when I found out about the only life he really cared for...
Well, Penny, let's not worry too much about him.
But, Johnny, all his life, he'd worked in carnival.
Well, that's a pretty colorful life, you know.
A barker, a spieler for a freak show, two-headed snakes, that sort of thing. And that's what he hopes to do again.
Let's forget about him, then.
Johnny?
Hmm?
Do you think Aunt Uri really has anything with those dolphins?
Well, those tapes are pretty, provocative.
Oh, why doesn't she just relax and enjoy her money?
Tell me, who gets her money when she dies? You?
Yes, everything. Except for the dolphins. They'll go, too. Hey, now you're the one who said to stop worrying. What do we do next, Johnny?
You just wait till I pay this check and you'll see. Waiter. We did the nightclub route. All stops. It was one of the greatest evenings I ever had. Penny, not only clever, beautiful, charming, witty, but... Well, I was sorry when it was all over. And sometime after 4 a.m., I piled her into her car, kissed her goodnight, and watched her head on back to the beach. It was almost an hour later when... Oh, Johnny Dollar. Oh, wait a minute. Hold everything. Hello?
Johnny, please, come out here.
Penny?
Yes, Johnny.
Well, Penny, what's the matter? What's happened?
Aunt Uri. She's dead.
Penny was waiting for me at the turnoff from the highway.
Oh, Johnny, I don't know what to do. And there's nobody else around.
Where's Carl?
I'd forgotten when I left her alone out here. Last night was a night off for him. He won't be back till 6.
Well, it's almost that now.
Listen, when I came in, I found Aunt Uri wasn't in her bedroom.
Yes?
And it wasn't a feeding time for the dolphins, but I I looked around anyhow. No, don't stop at the house.
Well, where is she, Penny?
Down there, at the pier. In the tank with her children.
Her body was floating there, and the dolphins, her children, were beside her, protecting her. I rigged up a sling and brought her body up onto the platform, and I could see where she'd been struck on the head. Just then, Carl came running out onto the pier. I must say that his reaction was wholly unexpected.
I knew it, Penny. I knew you'd get her sooner or later.
Carl!
Just a minute, Carl.
Couldn't wait for her to die, could you, to get all her money? You had to help her along.
I said just a minute.
Hit her over the head, did you? Then pushed her in? Is that what you did?
Oh, Carl, you're terrible.
It's true, Dollar. It's true, because of her money.
Now, look here, both of you.
And listen. Yeah, the Dolphins. I can prove it. I think I can prove it. Because they'll know. They must have seen and they can talk. Dollar, they can talk. And I can understand them, and they can understand me. Oh, yeah. You'll see.
He rigged up the microphone again. Then, after starting the ultra-high-speed tape machine, he talked to one of them. He asked that dolphin who had killed her. And when he finished, he moved the tape to the other machine.
And now we'll play it back slow, and we'll see, Dollar. We'll see.
What's that?
It's my voice when I asked him. So low at this speed, it's only a rumble. The high squeak of that dolphin when it slowed down this way. Listen.
Listen.
I told you. I knew it. She killed her.
Oh, no.
All right, turn it off. Carl, drive into La Jolla. Get the police.
You bet I will.
If it was true about Dolphin's intelligence, this might be no actual proof at all, but it was pretty damaging evidence against the girl who would inherit all of the professor's money. But from the time of the professor's first demonstration, I've been thinking about a man who knows every electronic trick. Bob McKinney, an engineer for CBS. So the minute Carl left to get the police and the medical examiner, I pulled the tape off the machine and we left. Then, at McKinney's home, Penny and I waited 4 or 5 hours while Bob experimented with different playback speeds, with filters, equalizers, a variac, and heaven knows what all. And then, finally...
Well, Johnny, I can't be sure.
Yes, Bob?
But if the tape recording was faked up the way you think it might have been, this should be the way the voice on it sounded originally. And it wasn't any dolphin.
Go ahead, play it, Bob.
Penelope. Kill, murder.
Johnny.
Me see. Penelope. Kill.
All right, turn it off. Well, Penny?
Carl. It was Carl.
Yes. Yes, Carl faked that, like he faked all the other dolphin voices.
But what? Why kill her?
Weren't the dolphins and the aquarium to go to Carl?
Oh, yes. Yes, they were.
Well, apparently he was afraid that your aunt would find out about his electronic tricks. This way, he'd have his sideshow, the life that he wanted. But instead, he's booked himself a one-night stand. And its blackout is permanent. Thanks to Carl, the police and he were still there at Shelter Point, waiting for us. Expense account total, including hotel and the trip home, $531.80. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, the calm, blue, beautiful waters of the Pacific almost hide the work of a clever team of killers. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Do you like a car with plenty of pep, a car with reserve power for safe passing? Most good drivers do, but they don't like to pay extra for premium gasoline. Listen, in 3 out of 5 cars, regular priced Sinclair Dino gasoline matches performance of premium gasolines, saves you up to 4 cents a gallon. Almost anywhere you see the Sinclair Dinosaur sign, you can save up to 4 cents a gallon with Dino. Drive with care and buy Sinclair Dino gasoline. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Larry Robinson, Ethel Everett, Joan Laser, Bill Lipton, and Ben Yaffe. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Art Hanna speaking.